The transformative power of travel, unlocking personal growth. Imagine waking up in a city you've never been to, surrounded by unfamiliar sights, sounds, and cultures. You're away from home, outside your comfort zone, and for the first time you realize how small your world has been. This is travel, and it's one of the most powerful tools for personal growth. In this video, we're going to dive deep into the transformative impact of travel. We'll explore how stepping outside your usual environment can change the way you think, how it can push you to be more resilient, and how it can sharpen your decision-making skills. We'll discuss how traveling shapes your confidence and helps you build a mindset that prepares you for challenges in all areas of life, from health and career to relationships. But here's the kicker. By the end of this video, I'll reveal the #1 secret to truly unlocking your potential through travel. And trust me, it's something that many overlook but is absolutely essential to turning every travel experience into real personal growth. So stick with me until the end to uncover that. When you first step into a new environment, whether it's a bustling foreign city, a quiet village, or a remote island, you're bound to feel discomfort, and that's where the growth happens. For me, one of the most defining experiences came during my trip to Southeast Asia. I was in Thailand, a country with a culture and language completely different from anything I'd known. I didn't speak the language, I didn't know the local customs, and I was alone. At first I felt vulnerable, but in that vulnerability I found an opportunity to grow. Travel forces you to adapt quickly. You need to figure out how to communicate, how to navigate a new city, how to solve problems without relying on the usual resources. It pushes you to think on your feet, to learn from your mistakes, and to build resilience. And it's this resilience that becomes one of the cornerstones of personal growth. When you travel, you face challenges that you never would have encountered at home. And these challenges don't just help you become more resourceful, they force you to grow into someone more confident, someone who can handle uncertainty and setbacks with grace. One of the most significant aspects of travel is how it exposes you to different ways of thinking. Every culture, every country, has its own unique perspective on life, on success, on happiness, and on purpose. And when you experience these perspectives firsthand, your worldview inevitably expands. I'll give you an example. When I was in Japan, I learned about the concept of ikigai, which roughly translates to a reason for being. It's the intersection of what you're good at, what the world needs, what you can be paid for, and what you're passionate about. Before that trip, I was stuck in a mindset of just grinding through life, following the conventional path without giving much thought to what truly drove me. By immersing myself in this different way of thinking, I began to understand the importance of finding deeper meaning in what I did. I realized that personal growth isn't just about grinding for success, it's about aligning your work with your purpose. And that realization has shaped everything I do since. Travel helps you develop this global perspective. It makes you see the world from different angles. It challenges your assumptions and encourages you to think critically. And when you start to think critically, you unlock new levels of understanding that you can apply to every area of your life. One of the most crucial lessons you learn when you travel is how to be self-sufficient. Whether you're navigating the public transportation system in a foreign city or trying to figure out how to book accommodation in a remote town, travel pushes you to rely on yourself. There was one moment during a backpacking trip through Europe when I was in a small town in Italy. My phone had died, my bank card wasn't working, and I was completely out of cash. I had no idea how I was going to solve the problem, but I had no choice but to figure it out. I found a local shop, managed to get some help, and by the end of the day, I was back on track. That experience taught me two things. First, no matter how tough things get, you can always figure out a solution. And second, you can't always rely on other people or resources to bail you out. You have to trust in your own ability to problem solve and adapt. This is a skill that carries over into every area of your life. When you learn to be self-sufficient on the road, you bring that strength back home with you. If you want to become a true Titan in life, you need confidence. And travel is one of the best ways to build it. Every time you step into a new environment and overcome a challenge, you add a new layer of confidence to your character. Confidence isn't just about believing in yourself. It's about knowing that you can handle whatever comes your way. And travel is the ultimate test of that. Whether it's dealing with travel delays, language barriers, or cultural misunderstandings, travel constantly pushes you to rely on your own abilities. I'll be honest with you, there was a time when I lacked the confidence to push past my fears and take risks. But after traveling to different countries, facing the unknown, and coming out stronger each time, I learned to trust myself. I built a confidence that I can carry into any situation, whether it's a business deal or a personal relationship. By now, you've seen how travel can transform you. It challenges your comfort zone, builds resilience, exposes you to new perspectives, and ultimately boosts your confidence. But there's one critical piece of the puzzle that many people overlook, and that piece is the act of reflection. Here's where many travelers get it wrong. They treat travel like a checklist. Visit the Eiffel Tower, hike Machu Picchu, see the Great Wall of China. And while those experiences are incredible, they don't automatically lead to personal growth. The true transformation comes when you stop and reflect on those experiences, understand their deeper meaning, and ask yourself, how can I apply these lessons to my life moving forward? The reality is that life isn't a constant vacation. The lessons you learn from travel need to be integrated into your daily life to have lasting impact. Without reflection, travel becomes nothing more than a series of Instagram photos, fleeting moments, and stories you share with friends. But with reflection, travel becomes a catalyst for long-term growth. Let me tell you about a personal experience I had that really helped me internalize this. A few years ago, I spent several months backpacking across Africa. I was volunteering with communities in rural areas, helping with local development projects. At first, I was caught up in the excitement of being in new places, meeting new people, and absorbing different cultures. But after a few weeks, I realized something that shifted my perspective completely. In these rural villages, I saw firsthand the daily challenges people faced: lack of resources, poor healthcare, and limited access to education. Yet despite these hardships, the people I met were incredibly resilient. They smiled through their struggles, found joy in the simplest things, and were deeply connected to their communities. That realization hit me like a wave. I had been so focused on my own personal ambitions, my career, my material success, that I had failed to recognize how much I took for granted. I had a roof over my head, access to food and healthcare, and a chance to pursue my goals without worrying about survival. This wasn't just eye-opening, it was humbling. But here's the secret. I didn't just have this epiphany and move on. I took the time to reflect on it. I spent days journaling, thinking about what that experience meant for me. I asked myself, what can I learn from this? How does this experience change my perspective on success, on happiness, and on what truly matters? This reflection process led to a significant shift in how I approached my personal and professional life. I stopped chasing superficial success and started focusing more on making an impact. It wasn't about accumulating wealth or status anymore. It was about being more present, appreciating what I had, and finding ways to contribute to something bigger than myself. This is the core of what I'm talking about when I say the key secret to true growth through travel is reflection. If you're constantly moving from one place to the next without taking a moment to absorb the lessons from your experiences, you're missing out on the full potential of your travels. Reflection allows you to synthesize everything you've seen, heard, and felt. It turns those experiences into personal wisdom that you can use to guide your life choices. Let me break down how you can make the most out of this process of reflection. Set intentions before you travel. Before embarking on any trip, ask yourself what you hope to gain. Is it confidence? Is it learning new skills? Do you want to challenge yourself to overcome a fear? By setting clear intentions, you give yourself a framework to evaluate your growth after the trip. Journal regularly. I cannot emphasize this enough. Writing down your thoughts, feelings, and observations during your trip will help you process everything. At the end of each day, take just a few minutes to reflect on what you've learned. What was difficult? What surprised you? What did you appreciate the most? Ask deep questions. As you travel, try to ask deeper questions about what you're experiencing. Don't just observe things at face value. Ask yourself, why do these people live this way? How do their values shape their daily life? What can I learn from their approach to community or success? These questions will help you engage with the world around you on a deeper level. Take time to process. Don't rush through your travels. Sometimes, after visiting a new city or experiencing a cultural difference, it's important to just take a step back and process everything. Spend time by yourself, reflect on how this experience aligns with your life goals, and understand how it challenges your previous beliefs or assumptions. Apply what you learn. Here's where the magic happens. Once you've reflected on your travel experiences, ask yourself how you can apply what you've learned back home. Maybe you've gained a new perspective on personal relationships or the importance of community. Maybe you've learned a new language or skill that you can continue to develop. For example, after my time in Southeast Asia, I spent weeks reflecting on the cultural emphasis on family that I saw everywhere. It made me realize that I had neglected my own family connections in the hustle and bustle of life. This reflection led me to prioritize family in a way I hadn't before. I now make a conscious effort to spend more quality time with my family members, and that decision has created stronger bonds that have enriched my personal life. Track your growth. Over time, reflection is not a one-time thing. It's an ongoing process. As you continue to travel, keep track of how you change over time. Look back at your journal entries or thoughts from past trips and compare them to how you see the world now. This will help you understand how far you've come and how much you've evolved. Why is this so powerful? The reason reflection is the key to unlocking growth is simple. It turns every experience into a learning opportunity. It makes your travels more than just an adventure. It makes them a tool for shaping your future. Without reflection, travel remains surface level. But with reflection, it transforms into a stepping stone for deep, meaningful personal development. I've met many people who've traveled to dozens of countries, but didn't seem any more self-aware or confident than when they started. And then there are others who've gone on just a few transformative trips, but through reflection, they've completely reshaped their lives. The truth is, travel can change your life, but only if you take the time to reflect on how those experiences shape who you are and who you want to become. If you're ready to start your journey toward becoming a true Titan, someone who is not only successful but also grounded, adaptable, and confident, check out the links in the description below. The Titan Toolbox offers tools, ebooks, and courses that will help you unlock your full potential. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the notification bell to stay up to date with all of our latest videos. Your journey begins now. Let's take the first step together.